we want to start with fundamental part of cybersecurity. Of course, we're supposed to go straight directly from the to the what's it called now, the modules that we have with us. But we believe that some of us are, they are let me call beginners, because based on the form that you guys submitted to us, we discovered that some are still beginners, while some, are already a technician, IT support and all that. So, this training, we are welcoming everyone, regardless of your level in cybersecurity. Of course, I know this is what we want to discuss about today. Some of us already know those things past this stage, but please just go along. Let's follow us. Let's go together and make it simpler. Yeah. So now, like what I put here now, of course, I said cybersecurity foundation class. Uh, Inside this, of course, we are going to discuss about OS security, that is operating security, network security, OSI model, IP4 addressing, and core networking. All these that we mentioned are very, very important. They are very, very important to us, to everyone. It's very, very important. So we need to make sure that we understand it very well. Um, you know, this training is practical foundation. Let's just put it like that. It's practical foundation, and it's mainly for the course from this foundation class to the module 1 to module 11 that we have for us. Of course, they are all work related. They are practical, what we do, the way we do it, the way we do all those things, carry them out at workspace. We prepare with that, and the module, the materials, everything that we are using, of course, is from US. So it does the same for those that maybe that they have, maybe we have some people that stay, maybe they are in Nigeria but working with working in US, or some people are in Nigeria, maybe they're having their education remotely with other country. You will understand what I'm talking about. This particular training that I want to do, of course, during my own time, I use $4,000 for this thing that I want to do. Yeah, so please take it serious. And we are not going to waste our time. We go directly to the points. So this is how we'll be taking it. Of course, a little presentation starting from module 1. Today, we just want to walk through this and do little practical about IP address, IP4. But aside from today, of course, the other modules, what we normally do is that we do a little theoretical part like this presentation, just for us to understand what we are going to meet in our workshop. Then after the workshop, when we are done with the workshop, we do the workshop together live like this. After the workshop, I compile all the step, everything together again. I send it to you guys. In case, because I believe some of us are working class people, and some are busy with businesses, and some in schools. So because of that, we make it very simple and easy. It's not that after the training you will just be going to, you'll be making another research. It's not that you are not going to be doing some research. Of course, we make it very, very easy for us to understand. Then 1 minute after the training, at least maybe 10 minutes after the training, we upload automatically this training will be uploaded after we stop the class. So we all have access to it. And for those that might want to, maybe after the whole training, after our 4 months, and for those that will not be in our dashboard again, of course, we also make a provision. We created an unlisted page in our YouTube channel. This that we only those people, only we that attended this class, that we have access to it, is for you guys. So you can attend to it at any time, even without signing into our dashboard. So that's that's the way we structure the whole thing. So now let's now go to the business, what we have today. As you can see from here, I said this is one, of course, foundation before module 1 to module 11. That's what we have for us. Then let's just go to slide 2 here. We'll not talk much on this. Also, okay, let me just start from here. As you can see, I said this why this foundation matters. I put everything here. Cybersecurity tools are powerful, but students must understand what the tools are, reading. So, as you can see here, I said is SOC analyst read log from operating systems, endpoint application and networks. A penetration tester scan IP addresses, ports, and services before testing weaknesses. That is why I put this together here is because we all need what we want to do today. Everybody, even though if you are not if you are not in what is it called, if you are not going for, you are not attending cybersecurity, we all need it. In as much you are 90%, we all need this. And I believe that most of us, especially someone like me, we didn't have background in cybersecurity. So because of that, we make it like this. We usually start from this, we use this style to start our training. So as you can see now, that is whether you are a COC, security operation analyst, this, or you are pen tester, ethical hacking, network security, no matter where you want to go, no matter what you want to do, we all need this foundational class that we want to discuss right now. So as you can see, I put here as well, I say computer, just a simple way that we can understand. That is, a computer is just like a house. That's why I put it here like this. Operating system, of course, is a house manager. Let me put it like that. Then I now say network here is a road. Of course, even in real life, in a simple English, whenever we talk about network, of course, we refer it as a road to from one place to another. So that's a road. I put it like that because I want to relate everything to what we do in everyday life. So now, firewall is just like a gatekeeper that blocks the traffic. Is either you allow or you block it. Then cybersecurity, protection of all of them. So what I'm just saying here is that it's very, very simple, and I will make it simple for us. Strong security decision depend on clear knowledge of operating system, networks, that is the networks here. It depends. I want to connect everything together so we can understand very well. Networks, IP addresses, of course, depend on IP addresses and protocols. So we should know that tools can produce alerts. That is when we are talking about security operational center like WASU and other security onion. Those are the dashboard that we use to monitor our system. That's why I said tools can produce alerts, but we analysts must understand what the alerts means. We need to understand what the alert means. It's not that maybe just see alerts and you just don't know. We need to know how to read alerts, how to understand alerts. So that's just about that. And device run in operating system. As you can see, everything like the software we are using runs on operating system. My system right now, of course, if we check our system, let me check my system information system. If you're on your system, if you are using Windows computer, just search for system information. Of course, you will know the information. You will know the type of system window that you are using. This is what we are talking about. This is operating system that we are talking about. Of course, Windows computer like Microsoft, window that we are all using. We have Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 8.5 or 8.1 rather. We have Windows 9, we have Windows 10, and we have Windows 11. Windows 12 is on its way. So also in Kali Linux, we have different type of Kali Linux. And so also in Linux, we have different kinds of Linux. So also in what's it called now? Apple, Mac OS, of course, we have different OS as well. So all these are the OS. Is it that your system that you are using right now, you are using Windows 10, or maybe later you are using 8.1 or 9 or Windows 7? or you are using Windows 11. It's either you'll be making use of any of this. Then you see the version. We talk about this. All this we talk about them because all these are very, very important, especially to security. If the version is outdated, of course, it's very easy for the hackers to be able to intrude your system. It's very easy for anything to happen to your system if all these are outdated. So because of that, we learn and study and make sure that we understand what all this, why all these are very, very important. Yes, let's go and proceed to the next step. And let me connect this because our goal, most of us, our goal is to, for work related. Most of us want to search for work, want to work, and most of us have different plan. So we all have different plan. For those that want to work, let me tell you how this is related, especially when we are talking about the offices in our various company. So this one now, during incidents, this foundational help us to locate the affected device. This foundation class that we are having currently help us to locate the what is it called now, affected device. That is by interpreting the logs. We interpret logs because from here now we understand logs. To also select the correct response. You might see log, but you don't know what to do. So this foundational class will make us to understand. Then let's proceed to this next slide here. As you can see from here now, of course, I said operating system basics. As you can see, I now put here an operating system control the computer and allow users, applications, and hardware to work together. Yeah, see, Windows, example of this is Windows, and we already talked about that. Linux, Mac OS, Android, iOS, all these are operating system. Our phone is either some of us are using Android or iOS. Those are the operating system of the machines that we are using. Yeah, we also have major jobs here. The major jobs here is the major jobs of this is managing users. Of course, we manage users using your operating system. User that we are talking about is that if you go to your control panel, of course, you will see where to manage users. Or on your computer from window, if you right click there, if you right click on your window, you will see where to manage users. Everything that we put here is in our system. Then we have files. Of course, if you open your file manager, you will see your files. Operating system manage them all. We have memory, processes. Of course, when you open your task manager, let me open my task manager so you can see more what I'm talking about. You can search for task manager on your device. You will see the function of task manager. Yeah, so this is my own task manager now. From this task manager now, we have a lot of things that we need to understand here, but it might not be today because our training is step by step. This is my what is it called? Task manager. From here now, as a support engineer, if you're a support engineer and you don't know how to read all this, that means you are not good enough at your job. Because if anything happen to your system, if your users they are complaining about system, maybe some cannot log in, or maybe their system is slow, or maybe their system is not working the way it's supposed to, first thing as a support engineer is to open task manager here and check the CPU, memory here, disk. As you can see, let's assume this memory now enter 95. Of course, there's a probability that it can slow down. So some people RAM here will be showing red. That shows that the something is happening. Let's assume that someone is attacking my system now, or let's just assume that this is our server, and this one is just red. You should know that something is happening. Maybe one higher operation is going on that you didn't know about, that you don't know about. Probably maybe an attack is happening, or something else is happening, or maybe the device is full. So understanding our task manager here is very, very important. And why am I here? I'm here because I want to let you know the importance of operating system. This can never happen without operating system. So operating system, this is working because of operating system. And here we can manage a lot of resources. As you can see here, we can manage logs, we can manage a lot of things here. History. If something is happening, maybe your system shut down, of course you can come here and check the logs and understand the logs, what is going on. So all this and the rest we are going to talk about through the training. Yeah, also I said how this is linked to cybersecurity. the link to cybersecurity. How you as a cybersecurity, you that want to go for security operations center, why, how this connected to you? What is your business with this operating system? That's what I put here. I say attackers target weak password, outdated system, poor permissions, and exposed services. That's the work of attack. For example, now for those of us that choose ethical hacking and penetration testing rather, yeah, we will understand later. We understand what we are talking about here, how we attack, the kind of system we attack, and many other systems, and what is it called now? Pen testing, the kind of test that we do, we understand. So here I said window is common in offices and student environment. Of course, looking at your office, you will hardly see a system running Linux. Of course, you can see macOS is common nowadays, but in most businesses, Windows system is common for businesses because of the flexibility, and it's not that technical compared to others. If you want to use Linux for business, of course it's possible, but you will know you might go through here before you can install Microsoft Excel alone on Linux computer, because the job is different. It's different. What you use Linux to do is different. If you want to talk about server, every duty works is for Linux. That's why I love Linux so much. Every duties work, we use Linux for that, like server, cloud system, and cybersecurity labs. By the time we start working using our labs, you will understand why Windows is never close to Linux computer. Yes, that's just about that. Then we move to next, basic operating security checklist that we need to understand. In a work environment, workspace environment, you don't just assign a system, a computer to a server, or to what is it called now? Yes, to a server. No, that is what is called join a computer to a server. You don't just do that. Every company have a benchmark that they follow. What is benchmark? Benchmark is at least the requirement that a device must meet before it can be joined to a what's it called? Because before it can be joined to a domain. Yeah, let me put it like that. So as you can see from here now, window examples. From here now, as you can see, window defender, window firewall, window updates, event viewer, least privileged users. Yes, least privileged users. Let me start with window defender. Window defender is a antivirus. All window computer have it. If you search for your system now, you will see Microsoft Defender there. So we have different window defender. Sometimes it might be third-party app. It might not be window defender. It might not be Microsoft version. So it depends. Then we have firewall. From your system also, you can search for firewall. We have firewall, and we talk about firewall before we end the training. Firewall configuration. We talk about that. So if you want to start, you can search for firewall now on your computer. Of course, it's always there. The work of firewall is to block and release, just like the way I explained. This is firewall from me. You can also check, as you can see, this is window defender that we are talking about. So this is the firewall that we're talking about. You can configure your firewall, depend on you. But I don't want to bother us now because we're with this. I don't want to bother us with this because we still have a lot to go. And today is not for this. We have this firewall have its own day. Yeah, sorry. So now, I put here Linux example. As you can see, okay, we are still here. These privileged users, we have different type of privilege that we assign to users. Yes, but the common one is either you are an ordinary users or what is it called, administrator. Yeah. So if you check your system as well, if you right click on any application, you will see option there. It's either you see open or run as an administrator. So administrator is a high privilege, like high power that you can use as an IT person. So this will determine the what you can access. Let me just put it like that. Let me put it like that. We understand all this later. Then here, Linux example. In Linux example, of course, we have sudo system update, SSH, admin. All this we talk about them, we understand. It's still the same. The way we have this in your window computer, so also we have this in our Linux environment. So these are the things that we need to put into place. And also, these are the things that we need to understand. Use strong password and MFA where possible. These are the requirements that our computer must meet or met before it can be joined to a domain or joined to a what is it called, our server. So that's just about this. So before I proceed, any questions so far? Before I proceed, any addition, subtraction, anything at all? I want it to be interactive. So if there's any question or if there's anything that we need to understand that we are not getting, so we can, calm down and I will explain better.
As for me, I think I'm following up.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Now, so here now, this place, before I leave this place, I would like to talk more about this because it's very, very important. This is now more like if you are in a work environment, you cannot just read this or check this and say you understand what this checklist is all about. So this checklist in a workplace environment, let me put it again so we can understand. A workstation is built, by maybe IT. They build a checklist which they give it to IT staff that okay, this system, this is standard that it must meet before it can be joined to any company or maybe a domain, like I said. So this one, we need to talk about this. We have what is called, one of the checklists is called, let me put this one aside. So for this place as well, we have access to this place. I send it to us. This is OneNote. This OneNote is what we'll be using most. Maybe you want to type, you want to draw, you want to do other stuff. So we use this for that. So now, let me just put it under this operating system. Under the operating system, let me quickly, from here now, let me draw a simple table here. So we have access to this. If you check your mail, you will see the thing there. Okay. Let me just, this one is 2 column. Let me just put this one as 7. Yeah. So if you cannot see it, please let me know so we can make it bigger. So we are seeing that place because I don't want to rush. I want us to understand it very well. To understand is the major thing. Understanding of everything that we are doing is the major thing. So now, first thing here, I will put checklist here. Check. Then here, I will put what is confirmed. That is what we confirm before a computer can be joined in a work environment. So let me just put it this way. What we confirm. Let me put this one here like this. So here now, under this check, we have what is called updates. We put update here. So under this update, of course, what are the things that we need to confirm? That we need to confirm if the security patches. We need to confirm if the security patches. Of course, patches is just like updating your computer. If you want to update your computer, of course, what you just need to do is search for your system and search for Windows update settings. You search for Windows update settings on your computer. So here is mine now. This is my own when I search for Windows update settings. As you can see, so I usually pause it because Windows 11 sometimes do waste data. So to avoid that, once I update it every month. So once I update it, I will pause it. As you can see my own now, I'm resuming, this system is resuming on this particular date. That's the next day, next time that I will patch it to update it. That's the meaning. Is that you call update or patching? That's just about that. And for those, it's very simple. Let me put it in this way. In our phone, your phone, of course, especially Android, of course, most of the time, most often you'll be seeing a notification that you need to update one app or the other. So once immediately you see that notification, the best idea as a security person is to go and update it. That's just about that, because any outdated system, it can very easy, it's vulnerable to attack. That's just about that I want you to understand. Yeah, so that's just about what I want you to understand about patching of software. So let me just put patching here. Yeah, so the next thing that we normally check in many organization is accounts. You check users accounts. So here we confirm if only authorized, just put it like that. Note that the word authorized. If authorized account exists, then administration access is limited. So what I'm talking about here is that this account, we need to understand and confirm if only authorized account is what we have, only exists in that user, in that computer. So here now, it's just authorized users. That is authorized user here. Let's just put it like that. Users only. Let me put it like that. Then the next thing that we need to confirm here. Sorry. Okay. Let me see. Okay, that's good. So we know that that's the title. Yeah. So the next thing that we need to confirm here is protection. Of course, we can confirm if firewall, the one that show us before this place, if the firewall, anti-malware, and also disk encryption are enabled. Of course, the modern disk encryption that we do. Of course, before we finish this training, we create our own disk encryption. We put something there and we hide it before we end the training. Maybe that will be around our module 5 or module 4, module 5 or 6, whatever. We get there, we test it, we crack it, we open it, and we encrypted it again. We do all those things. But before then, if you check your system in an enterprise environment, I mean your company that you work with and the company I work with, of course, we have a BitLocker. That's important one, most common one that we use. You yourself, you have it on your system. If you search for a BitLocker, that's the modern encrypted that Microsoft provide for everyone, every computer, in every server to lock you. As you can see, this is my home. Search for BitLocker. But you have to be sure and keep the key, because once you forget the key, you have no option again. So you have to make sure that you know where you store the key. So if I want to turn this one now on, as you can see, turn on, you click on this, you'll be able to turn it on. If I click on this now, it will be generating this, as you can see, but I don't want to. It will ask me save the key. As you can save to your Entra ID. It's talking about the key, but we are not saving it now. But in most organizations, they use this BitLocker to lock important, to encrypt important file. So that's just about this that I want you to understand. Let's leave that. So that's just about that. Then that's protection rather. Let me put here protection. Under protection. So under protection, we have firewall. You see that firewall, then encryption, etc. So that's just about that. And also we have services. So these services here, we have services. Services. Under these services, of course, we confirm if unused application, like we confirm unused applications, we confirm ports, we confirm services are disabled. For example, now unused ports in your computer should be disabled. Yes, we show for those that go that attend for ethical working and all those things. We learn all those things. Why, how to disable ports, the use port, unused ports, all those things. We learn all those things. We talk about those things as we proceed. Then, the last one here now that we need to that is very important is logs. We talk about logs. We talk about logs and backup. That's the last thing here that we need to understand. Under these logs now and backup, we need to make sure that we confirm if important events are recorded and recovery copies, because backing up is very important. These logs, Let me tell you, for example, now I talk about event logs. Event logs, of course, that's where we monitor what is going on in all our devices. So before we end this training, if we have time, I will open our one of our WASU environments, so we see how we are monitoring this thing that I'm doing now. This thing that I'm doing, if I check the event log, it will show that I open one note. If I transfer anything from this our environment, I will know. If anything happen in this environment, I will know. What make it happen is because of these logs. Backup. Backup is very, very important. Very, very important. For example, if your system crash, the recovery time is most important in IT. If anything happen, any incident happen in your organization, the recovery time, recovery plan, all those things are very, very important. So backup is very, very important. We have different ways of backing up. It's either you buy a disk, external disk or hard drive, you back all your stuff there, or maybe you back it up in environment like cloud environment. So we have different method of backing up. So these are the things that I want us to understand under this basic operating security checklist before we proceed. Now we are here. We are here again. We want to talk about this network basics. Of course, network basic is very, very important. Remember, the one we just finished now, we talk about operating system. Yeah. Now, we want to talk about networks. I say a network is a group of connected devices that can communicate and share resources. Yeah. Under here, I'm using us as an example. You as a student, as an intern, I'm using us as an example here. So now, looking at this now, we have what is it called? Student PC, we have switch, we have router, we have internet. All these things that I put here, of course, you and I, we have them all. You have your PCs with you, your switch. Of course, some of us have routers. If you look at the router, you will see a what is it called? Cat6 port there. That port is for switch. And now I will understand why this switch is important. I will talk about it later. Then we have router. What I'm using currently to connect to have access to internet is router. You also probably either you are using maybe MTN broadband or you are using MTN Wi-Fi to connect. Either ways, of course, that's router because it gives you access to internet. That's what you use as router. Then we have internet. Of course, once you are connected, you'll be able to access internet. So these are the things that we need to understand as well, how this connected and how they work. Now, switch, if you look at this, firewall connected to switch. That is, from the firewall, once you connect this to switch, then the server. So if anything happen in your organization, you first of all tackle firewall will fight the attack before it gets to server. That's why we have this particular here. I put here, I say real traffic often passes through switches, routers, firewalls, DNS, and servers, as you can see from here. So, I don't know. I don't know if anyone have any question regarding this before we proceed. So, okay, if there's no any question, of course, let me quickly explain some of these terms that we have here. So, this firewall, I've already explained that what we use firewalls to do, of course, to filter traffic according to approved rules. Why I say approved rules is because we configure what is it called, firewall. So you will be the one as an engineer, you'll be the one that will determine the traffic that will enter, the incoming bound and the outgoing, like outbound and incoming bound, that is the inflow and outflow of network traffic that enter your organization. So you'll be the one that will configure it. For example, now let's assume that you don't want your users to have access to WhatsApp. while in the office. Of course, you use firewall to block it. If you don't want some people to be able to access some certain environment, or to be able to access some network, maybe some websites, of course we block it. So that's, you use firewall to block the traffic. So that's what I want us to understand about firewall here. Are we here? Okay. So now, okay, we already talked about this. Talk about this. So we are here now. I say core network terms. Under this core network terms, of course, we need to understand some terminology, simple terminology. Let me just put it like that so we can understand. Here we have IP address, we have MAC address, we have default gateway, we have DNS, we have DHCP, and we have ports. So this thing is what we need to understand, because if you don't understand this, there's no way we can proceed in this training. It's very, very important, very, very important for us to understand what all these ones stand for. I know most of us understand this. So now, let me just start with IP address. As you can see, IP address here, I said it's a logical address of a device, as you can see from here. So, how is it important to cybersecurity, to you and I? Of course, help us identify sources and destination. So, by the time we start our security operational center, let me even try to open it, because I want us to be seeing what we are talking about. It's not just for us to be reading, and we need to understand. So as we proceed now, I will try to check. I'm coming on with you, so I want to open this thing down so we'll be able to see what I'm talking about here. Oh, okay. Yeah. So while it's coming up, we can proceed to other terms that we need to understand here. Here we talk about MAC address. So under this MAC address, of course, all these things that we have here, we use this correct. We must make sure that everything here is used correctly. At these terms. For example, now you can't just, if they hire you as a network person in security, you can't just be calling this one maybe a number, or you must use appropriate terms to qualify them, to call them. So under this MAC address now, this is what your computer and my computer use to communicate to one another. Of course, I put here, I say hardware address of network card. MAC address, fine, that's the name. Then useful in local area network investigation. Yes, this, let me make you understand very well. This MAC address, that's what your computer use to communicate with another device. This your MAC address, my MAC address, you are able to communicate now, to connect together, we connected together now, because this is able to communicate with another computer. So MAC address is what your computer use to communicate to another device. That's MAC address. That's the way I want us to understand it very well. So and also we have a protocol here. So okay, we're supposed to have protocol here, of course. Let me just define that. Of course, that one is just the rules for communications. That's it. Let me just put it like that. Then gateway, as you can see here, router used to reach other networks. That's what router use. So we talk about this, especially network security. We talk briefly about this before we end the training. Maybe our next class, we talk about the gateway and the router configuration. We talk about that because I want us to understand the beginning, this beginning, what is it called? Foundation class very well. Then as you can see from here, wrong gateway break communication. That's it under cybersecurity. So your work, your duty is this, to make sure that you understand what all these terms stand for. So DNS, that is convert name to IP address. This one, we can confirm this. For example, now you can open your terminal, your CMD on your computer, you search for CMD. So when you search for CMD, you see command prompt. So this is my CMD. We start for CMD, then you see command prompt. For example, now let me ping Google. I want to do something. Let me ping Google. Google.com. As you can see now, I ping Google here, but it's giving us IP addresses. I'm going somewhere. Let me ping their server, ping 8.8.8.8. So, looking at this as well, as you can see this one, we ping 8.8.8.8 here. As you can see, this one belongs to Google as well. This 8.8.8 is for Google, for their server, for their server. So where I'm going is that I want us to understand the difference between DNS and IP address, because I'm talking about this because by the time we get to our dashboard for analysis and other stuff, what we record down, what we put down as our report is all these simple terms. As a security operational center analyst, all this you must understand. This is what we use. This is what we analyze to understand what is behind the events that we analyze. The alerts that we are getting, the alerts that we are working on. All these are what we put together to understand. So now, therefore, as you can see from here, DNS, I said convert names to IP addresses. DNS logs can reveal suspicious domains. That's why I put this DNS here. Then we have DHCP. Of course, this is just give IP addresses automatically. That is automatic assign of IP addresses to a computer, not manual. I will show us how to do manual one next week. Then, as you can see, rogue DHCP can redirect DHCP can redirect users. We have port. This port, logical doors for its services. Yes, this port, every device have their own unique port. That's it. Open port, expose services. So as a cybersecurity person, as an ethical hacker person, you have to know the importance of port and why is it important. Of course, open port can cause a lot of damages to your organization. Unused port can cause a lot of damages to your organization. So as you can see, I put example here, SSH22. If you want to connect to a remote server, of course, we use SSH. Before we finish this training, we know how to configure SSH, how to create your own SSH. We do all this as we proceed. Then we talk about DNS 53. That's the port that DNS uses. So we have HTTP 80. We have HTTP 44. All these are the ports that this thing use. For example, now, if I open my Chrome here, then I enter google.com. Google.com here. I enter like this. So now, if I want to know more about Google, know their IP, everything they are using, we click on this place. From here, we have different options. We have connection is secure, cookies and others. We come here, click on this. As you can see, certificate is valid from here. So from here now, if I click further, I will see what we are talking about. As you can see from here, computer name, Google. Organization, not here. We can see more about Google. And this is the certificate that they are using. This we know how to, before the end of the training, we train ourselves how to create our own certificate. It's very, very important. We know public key and private key. We talk about this, but step by step. Then here, as you can see from here, if you click on these things, if you scroll down, you will see more about Google. You will see more about them. You will see more. As you can see, certificates, everything that they use. So all these are very, very important. Very, very important for us to understand. So that's just about that. How I can explain and make us to understand better the DHCP and other stuff. We still understand this better. We still talk about this. But for now, let's proceed. Then here now, we are in network security basics. As you can see from here, we already talked about firewall. I say network security protects traffic, devices, and services from unauthorized access. A secure network should allow business traffic and allow unnecessary traffic, as you can see, and block unnecessary traffic rather. Every open port should have a clear reason. Yes. If you're, for example, now, if you are using computer, what is it called, printer at your workspace, at your workplace, all those things have their own ports. But let's assume they are not used, they are unusable. Maybe they are just open. Of course, me as an ethical hacker, I can take advantage of those ports and gain access to your network. I can use it for many things. If I see a remote port app open on your computer, of course, I can use that to gain access. So open ports should be closed if they are not using. And if it's not closed, organization management should know why they are open. So that's just about this. Here, segmentation. Of course, segmentation in every organization is very, very important. Very, very important in every organization. For example, now, security for those that go for that apply for our network security. So for this one, segmentation, after you must have built your network topology, of course, you have to segment them. So this segmentation also, I will practicalize it. We create that next week because we have 2 weeks to do with this our foundation class before we proceed. Two classes for that. Yeah. So we create a network, we segment it, and see the importance of segmentation. Segmentation is just like, let me put it in a small terms. It's just like dividing your network into a sizes. So instead of, let me just come here. Let me come here. I don't want just to be talking, so we can let me draw. So let me just pick this one and draw. Let's say this is our one network, another one. Let's say this is our switch. This is our switch. Sorry for not drawing it very well. Let's say this is our PC, first PC, PC1. And this one, let's say this one is our PC2. Sorry. Let's say this one is PC2. So let's assume that we have another one here too. This is switch. We have another switch here as well, like this. Another PC connected to it. Let's say one and another PC here too. Let's put this is PC3. And let's say we have another PC here as well. Let's say this one is PC4. Of course, before this and this can communicate, we have different ways. So we have router at the middle here. So this switch connects to this, and this switch connected to this as well. So now, there's what is called segmentation is that you make sure that this one is separate from this. So if any attack happen on this, it will not affect this. It will only affect this. Let's say the people, this system 1, computer 1, and computer 2 belongs to maybe HR department. And this one belongs to IT department. Sorry. This one belongs to IT department. So if anything happen to this HR now, IT will be able to operate normally because there is a segmentation. The flow, the attack will not be able to affect this. If there's any worms, any virus that affected this, will not be able to, if we block here, it will not be able to affect it. That's the importance of segmentation. By the time we use our packet tracer and practicalize it, we understand better. But today, I want us to understand IP addresses, how we can convert binary to hexadecimal and all those things. That's what we want to do today. So that's what I want you to understand about that here under this segmentation. Then we have monitoring. Of course, this monitoring, we have different tools that we use to monitor what is going on in our device, in our network, in our company, in different organizations. So I mentioned some of these things that we use for that. We use logs, IDS, IPS, CM, and packet analysis. So all these are what we monitor that make us to understand. And what are the tools? What is the software that we use security-wise that we use for this to monitor? Example is just what is it called? Security Onion and the WASU that I talk about. We use those machines to monitor this. And also in Microsoft Office 365, We go there as well. I will show you how we monitor what is going on as well in our Office 365 environment. So that's just about this. And we have here secure remote access. Under secure remote access, of course, we use VPN, but VPN is not enough. We use MFA, that is multi-factor authenticator, and we use strong access control, password, to secure our device. So that's what I want you to understand here. I now put down here, how is this cybersecurity link everything together? Of course, Nmap, that is this Nmap, we use it in our Kali to scan network, find exposed port, security onion, and WASU help monitor activities. So that's how this concern you as a cybersecurity person. So now we move to IP address. Before we move to IP address, any question so far before we move to IP address? Am I too fast, or any question, subtraction, addition before we proceed?
Yeah. Hello?
Yeah, I'm with you. I can hear you, sir. I'm with you.
I think, for
Yeah.
me, I think I want you to explain that network again, because there is something I really want to understand in that
Okay.
network.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So for this network, um, anyway, I will not talk much now, but by the time we finish our IP here, because we want to do how to assign IP configuration, subnetting, we want to talk about those things now before we call it a day. But before that, let me explain again so we can understand this networking part. So under this networking, of course, in cybersecurity, we have general cybersecurity, just like some of us that study major courses uh in university, let me put it like that. So we have sub courses, like sub professional discipline under our major courses. So cybersecurity is a general name for them. Under cybersecurity, of course, we have ethical hacking and pen testing, we have network security, we have SOC, we have more and more under cybersecurity. Yeah, so this networking now is major thing, because everything we do now is mainly of networking. Of course, we are able to communicate now because of this network. We're able to communicate. So everything we do online is as a result of this network. Your security online is as a result of this network. So typically, what we are saying about this network is that, looking at this, I say network security protect traffic, devices, and services from unauthorized access. So what I'm talking about here is that I want us to understand under this network is that we have firewalls that block whatever that block the traffic coming in and going out from our server, coming into our server. If filter it, you block the one that you don't want, and the one that you don't want it to go outside, you block it as well. So we configure it. We configure the network using the firewall. Then segmentation, like I explained here. If you are not understanding this, is understandable. We talk about this. By the time we talk about using packet tracer next week, just to introduce ourselves to round up our foundation class, we understand this segmentation very well. Then under monitoring, everything still belongs to networking. This secure remote access belongs to network as well. So um, let me just put it in this way. Network security control reduce unauthorized access and provide evidence for investigation. Yes. So, and under network security, of course, we already talked about firewall, network connection, VPN, IDS and IPS, and monitoring and logs. Those are the things that come under networking. And so after this now, what also important that we need to touch is the IP address. And that's where we are going to now. So if you are still not understand this, don't worry. you will get this very well after the IP address and after we use packet tracer and we see what we are talking here now. We demonstrate it using our packet tracer. We design our own network and we segment it and we assign what is it called, switches, and we also assign cable, we connect cable, and we do all those things. I will make sure that we can network everything is flowing correctly. By then, this will be very, very understandable. So I don't know if you get that, or you have any other you want me to explain better.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
okay. You can go ahead.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So any other questions from other people? Any question, addition, subtraction before we enter the last stage, which is we want to talk about IP address. Okay. So it's like there's nobody's raising hand. So let's talk about IP address. So like I said, we use this to do some of the things because this IP address typing, sometime I might want to maybe copy a table and put it here, or sometime you might know. So that's why I put this one here, so we can refer to the notes here. So now, since we are in other subnetting now, we talk about this binary IP addresses, private. Okay, we start from here. Under here now, we start from here under IP address. So now, before we go here, let me open. We already talked about that. Then we talk about this. So we are here. We want to talk about IP address now because of the importance of this IP address. We take a little time and make it very, very understandable and simple for us to understand. So ordinarily we have IP4 and IP6 address system. We have those things, and um before that we also have what is it called, we have what is called octet. So in this IP address, this is what we have now. This is what we call IP address here. That is 192.168. This one here is dot 168, 1 and 10. So as you can see, I said IP4 is a 32-bit addressing system used to identify device on a network. Yeah, this IP, if you do anything wrong in any company, in your company that you are working with, the only thing they need from you is your IP address. IP address, everybody, it's just like an address, of each house. Number 32, so area is an address. So since you already informed me that your house location is in number 22, maybe Ojodubega, of course, I will know that's where I will go directly since you already given me the address number. So also in every device that connects to internet, that access internet, make use of IP address. Yeah, so and two devices can never share a single address. The address is unique for each device, though it changes, but at that particular time, two devices cannot make use of it at the same time. So each contain each of these 192 contain 8 bits, which is called octets. So let me just copy this. Let me put this one side by side. Yeah, let me put this one side by side so we can understand. Yes. Yeah, so now we are talking about this IP address, which is 192, 192, then dots 168. Yes. Then dots 1.10. So I'm now saying that this is an octet. This one, this one, this one, .10, this is an octet. We call it octet. This also, this is one octet, another octet, another octet, another octet. So basically now we have 4 octets in IP address system. So I said IP4 is a 32-bit addressing system. Yes. So that's what I want you to understand now. I will explain and we'll break this one down to binary so we understand how it works. So now, and I said it has a decimal value from 0 to 255. A decimal value from 0 to 255. That is, this octet, one octet here, has value from 0 here. Sorry, from this 0, I don't know if this one can be. Yeah, so we can have more space. From 0 to 255. This also from 0 to 255 as well. 0 to 255. Also this one, 0 to 255. This one as well, 0 to 255. So we need to note that as well. Don't worry, as we proceed, we understand this. We understand. Then we want to know binary place values are read from left to right. I want us to know all those things. That is, here now, if you want to call this one now, you say 192.168.1.10. So from left, you read it from here to this place. We want us to understand that as well. So also, sorry, I think someone opened his mic that we need to mute it. Okay. Yeah. So now, so I want us to understand this as well. So without wasting our time, of course, I will use one IP address to explain. What we want to do is that we want to convert it to binary and see how it works and see how we can assign it as well. Yeah. So now, in a work environment, in a workplace environment, let me put it like that, binary conversion, help every organization to understand subnet maps, network boundaries, and host ranges. That's what this conversion that I want to do can help us to do. Yeah, so we need to understand that as well. As we proceed, we need to understand this. Yeah, so now, I haven't done that, I haven't said that. What we want to do now is to convert. We want to convert it. So to do this, to make it very, very easy for us, I have to draw a table. Let me come here, because if I'm doing it like this, it might take a while for us to understand before we can finish it. So let me just come under this binary conversion here. I put the notes here. Okay, I think we are here to talk about private and public IP. Okay, we will not miss it. We talk about private and public IP. We talk about that. Let me see what next. Okay, that will be the next thing that we'll talk about. So, we are here now. We are here now. I already put this one here. There are 4 octets. Each octet is 8 bits. That is, this is 8 bits. This is another 8 bit. This is another 8 bit, and this is another 8 bit. And if you now multiply everything together, of course, you get this 32 bit. So that's just about that. And each octet must be from 0 to 255. That is, this one can accommodate from 0 to 255. We understand. Also, this particular one. So also this one. Also this one. Then example value address is this. Invalid example is this. That is, why is this is invalid? Because the maximum is 255 and this 300 is more than 255. That's why I put invalid here, as you can see from here. Binary number, as a reminder, 8-bit can represent 256 values from 0 to 255. Yeah, so before we talk more about the conversion, I want us to talk about private and public IP. Yes, let's talk about private and public IP. It's very, very important for us to understand how we can identify anywhere you see private IP. We should be able to know. If you are carrying out log, maybe you are reporting, doing your reporting, you are analyzing alerts, you need to know if this IP is private, is public IP, if it's private IP or public IP. You need to know if it's destination IP or maybe what is it called now? Source IP. You need to understand all those things. That's why we are talking about the IP. I understand that most of us understand the IP very well, but for those that did not understand, that's why we want to say use our spend little time on this particular one. From here now, let me make this bold enough so we can see. I said from here, as you can see, I said where is it now? Sorry. Okay. I said public IP here, used on the internet. It is routable publicly and normally assigned by ISP or cloud provider. Yeah, this one that we are talking about now is very simple. Let me quickly show us. I will show you how to get your private IP and public IP. So now, to know your public IP, of course, all you just need to do is just to come here. We understand. I know we understand this. That's search for my IP address. If you search for this on your computer, of course, if you click on this, you will see your public IP. The IP that you see here is your public IP. You can never see your private IP here because your private IP is localized within your company, within your home address. So that's why private IP can never be seen in public here. So that's one thing I want you to understand. Your own IP might be different from this, depend on your ISP, and that is your service provider, might be different from this. So that's what I want you to understand here very well. Yeah. So now to get your public IP, of course, you navigate to your CMD that we use, command prompt. You type CMD from your computer. Once you type your CMD and enter, of course, you will have your this one here. So you have an IP config, that is IP configuration here. So once you do this, you will see your IP, your private IP here. All these IP are the IP. As you can see, this is the firewall we are talking about. So it has its own IP and this thing, as you can see. So these are the IP for my device. Your own might not be much like this because I have different virtual machine on this machine that I'm using, this local machine that I'm using. I have different machine on it. That's why I have many IP. Your might be 2 or 3, depend on, since you already install your what is it called now, your Kali machine and your VM Windows. Of course, their IP will be here as well. The IP will be here as well. So as you can see from here now, this is private IP. Every IP you see here, private IP, private IP. Every IP you see here is private IP. Now, how will you know? How can you recognize in exam, for those that will go for certification exam, maybe in the nearest future, or for if you want to, if you maybe you get higher in your organization and they ask you to configure in a network, they ask you to assign a IP address, or maybe you want you find yourself in a security operational center, you want to analyze a log. How will you know that this IP is public? How will you know that this IP is private? So we want to know now. Let's move back to our slide. From here now, you will notice some things here from this screen. You will notice that I said use inside homes. That is your IP that you are using is private IP. In your home, in your offices, all those things in your lab are all private IP. Yeah, so now I differentiate it here. I say private IP range from this. So anywhere you see .10, of course, for those people that are using MTN, you might have this one. You might have this .10 for those that are using MTN. You might have this. Yeah, so this is every .10, as you can see from here now, from .10 to 10.255.255.255. So this one means 000, as you can see here. That's the meaning. That is .1111.111.111. That's the meaning. Range, every dot 10 that you see here, you will know that those are the private IP. Then look at this particular one as well. I say there are 3 ways that you can use. This is the first one, and the second one is this. Looking at this one very well, 17.2.16. Of course, this is once you see any IP at all anywhere, once you see any IP at all anywhere that is started with 172.16, you will know that it's public and private IP. As you can see now, it ranges from example of this. Let me just copy this so we can understand better. Let me copy this. Let me put it here. Yeah, I want us to get it. Okay, yeah, I want us to get it. So any IP now, 172.16. As you can see, to this 16, that's the list to 31. That is, it can be from 172, then to this 172.31 dot this. So what I'm saying here is that it ranges from 16 to 31. This is
Sorry,
constant.
sorry,
Okay.
sorry. Can you zoom it small?
Okay. 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 What about now?
It's okay now.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah. So now, I just want us to be, look at it very well. This is constant. This is constant. But both private and public IP can use this 172. But that's why it ranges from the next octet. This is the first octet, was 72. This one shows that it's either private or public. But what will make you know that this one is private or public is that second octet must be between 16 and 31. So in a situation whereby we have 16, we have here, we have 32 here, and maybe dot anything at all, dot 1, dot 3, dot 4. So you should know that this one is no more in range between 16 and 32. That is dot 16, dot 17, dot 28 till to 31 is private IP. But immediately above 31, that is 32, 33 to 255 is public IP. Yeah, so if you check your system now, CMD, IP config, or even the IP of your phone, you will understand that it's either it started with .10, 10 dots, and or 172. So that's what I want you to understand. So this IP now is public IP because it's no more in the range between this range and this range. You already passed 32. So that's what I want us to understand about the second option here. Then the third one here, let me copy it here so we can see this one, the third IP here, the third indicator here. So the third one here is that anywhere you see 192.168, this is first thing that you need to understand first for this one. So this is constant. Anywhere you see this to this one, from this 168, 192.168.255.255, you will know that this is also a private IP address. So any IP address now, for example now, if you have, let me put it like this. If you have something like this, under this 192, then dots, let me put it like this, 192.168, 168 or 167, let me put it like this, 167.1.2. As you can see, this second option is no longer 168. So anything different from this second octet is no longer private IP anymore. It's now public IP. So that's how you can distinguish between public IP and private IP. So now let me just draw this one back. So to indicate. So now that's why I color this one. I color this. That is. Then this one also from here. And this. So anything outside of this range, if 168 is above 168, maybe 169 is no longer public IP. So any question before we proceed? If you are not getting it, so I can quickly recap.
Okay, thank you. I would like what you are trying to say that once we have any number from 172
Yeah,
16 to 31 is a private IP, ba?
IP. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's constant.
A constant. So any number that is above 31, that's what you're trying to say, is a public IP.
God will bless you.
So
Yes, sir.
what will that is the difference between private and public IP
IP.
address.
Yes. And for
Okay.
this first one, I divided it to three. This first one also, any 10.10.10, 10 dot so 10 dot this, 10 dot that, you will know that it's private IP. You can check. Okay, let me just what we ping now. Let me put it here.
That one, let's see.
Is that what?
I
Let
say if you
me.
can zoom.
Okay. I will zoom it now. I just want you to check my own IP here. As you can see from here, this this IP4, this one ended at 31. But let's assume that this 172.31 is maybe 32 or 34 or 33 is no longer private IP, is now a public IP. In your own now, if you are using MTN or maybe other internet service provider, you might see 10. You might see 10. As you can see, this one too is still in range. Everything here must be in range, as you can see here. Must be in range, as you can see from here. So now let's go back to that our Chrome where we search our IP. You see this? You see this one? That this is 102 dot. This is no longer 10, as you can see. It's no longer 10. It's more than 10, as you can see. 102.220.173.10, as you can see from here. So this one is no longer a private IP, it's public IP address. Yours might be different from this. Your own might
So
started from,
this one
okay.
is private IP address.
This one is public IP address. This one is public. Let me just copy it now to compare with what we just discussed here. Sorry. I think we are not. Sorry, I'm trying to locate where we are. Okay, we are yet to be here. OSI model. Okay, I think this is where we are now. Okay, this way. Okay, we are here. So this is what I copy now from that online stuff. I copy this. This is what I copied. So looking at this now, you will notice that it doesn't belong to any of what we anything here. The first one, this one is 10.0, and this one is 172.16, but this one is 102. You will notice that the first octet here, nothing is in this one is not in this range. That is, what we are talking about here is that this one must be constant when you are distinguishing between private and public IP. This one is 102 dot, but this one is 192.168. So it's not up to this. So anywhere you see this is always your own. You can check your own CMD IB config. You will understand better. This 172. This also 172. So it's different from this. The one that we can compare with this one now is 10 dots.
Excuse sir, are we considering the first octal only, or are we considering the first octal only to differentiate between the two IP addresses,
Okay, let
or
me. Okay,
or
I'm with
the
you.
second octal is included?
Okay, let me come again. In some cases, the first one here, we consider the first one here, this 10. We consider this. As you can see, anywhere you see dot 10 dots here, the first one, we consider it. Assume that as private IP. Anywhere you see that started with 10, anywhere you see the one that started with 10 dots, anything in front, consider that as private IP, as private IP. Then anywhere you see this second option, the second rule here is that anywhere you see 172.16, so we use these two to distinguish. So the second octet, which is 16 here, must not be above 31. As you can see, this is the range from this 16, from 1 to 32 here, as you can see. But anything you see this second option here is still 172 dot, assuming we have 172.33, that's private public IP. It's no longer anything above this 31 here in this second rule here, that's public IP. Then for the second option as well, we use the two, the second and the third rule, we use these two as well. So anything we see, anything about 168, let's assume we have 169, that's anything 169 and on like that are all public IP. I don't know if you get it.
Yes,
Do you
sir.
get
Thank
that?
you, sir. It's now clear. Yes, sir.
Oh,
I have
oh,
gotten that.
okay. Thank you very much. Now, what we want to do now, because our time, we have few like 32 minutes more to go. So what we want to do now is that we want to talk about conversion. Is very, very important, because if you get higher, there's a probability that you can even get a project from anywhere, that maybe they give you the network of the whole university for you to set up, to design. If they give you something like that, you have to know public IP and private IP. You have to know how to your subnets, how to use, configure your subnet, how to assign manually, how to convert from binary to decimal, many more. So for that now, we want to talk about that. Yeah. So now the next this thing that we have here. So we have CDR and subnetting in simple terms here. I put it here. So CDR, of course, that's classless interdomain routing. That's the meaning of this. CDR shows how many bits belong to the network part of an IPv4 addresses. So this one now, from what I put here, of course, we understand by the time we start. You can see this slash 24 here. It means 24 network bits and 8 host bits. So this formula, I put this formula here, core formula. We practicalize this. I just want you to see some terms here. Host bits 32 minus CDR, total address. So the formula that I want you to understand here now is this. That's 2 raised to power host bit. So what are we saying here? This might look like jargons to us now until we practicalize it and see how it works. So now I will use a simple example here for us to understand. I put something here. I put this one here in case we get higher or we get any project, because these are constant for many companies for configuration. But this, how we get all these things, is what we want to explain now. How you can detect to get this by yourself, configure this and get all these things, is what we want to configure. Is what we want to do at the moment. So here I put the formula here, but let me just open a new. Let's make use of this. Let's make use of that's why I put IP address or subnetting here under the subnetting. So let's just talk about this briefly. So I put this one here first. I say that's binary to decimal conversion. I want us to do that first, to talk about binary to decimal conversion. It's very, very important. Yeah, so now we have what is called prefix. We use this. We have what is called like this, or this slash. You can have /1. Oh, sorry, I did not write it very well. /1. We can have /24. We can have /12/32. Let me just put it like that. You know, when we started, we said that we have 32 bits. Yeah, 32 bits for the whole IP address. For the whole IP address. The one that I want to work with now, I want us to talk about that /24. Who we understand as we want to proceed now. So we have /24 and we have OSI. We talk about that. So we have what is called subnet mask. So we talk about that as well. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 2, 8, which is called the octet that we talked about earlier before now, which is called the octet that we talk about. So and we also have 0 to 7. If you look at this one now, if you understand very well, computer only understands 0 and 1, or 1. Let me put it like that. That's the language computer understand, or 1. So, and if you want to count from 0 to 1, 0 to 7, you want to ask different, you want to do it in form of number. Let's count from 0, 1, that's comma, 2, comma, 3, comma, 4, comma, 5, comma, then 6, comma, and 7. If we count this now, you will notice that it's 8 bit. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's equal to 8. So I want us to understand this well as well, because we are going somewhere, and I will make it very, very simple. The way I'm saying it now, it might be a little bit confusing. Maybe you might think it's hard, but it's not hard. By the time we consider the necessary thing here, we understand what I'm talking about. So now I will draw a table, because that's where we stop after the IP address. I will draw a table that will make us to understand it very well. We have 2 column 2. Then let's say here, let me just put 7 or 8. Yeah. So let's make use of this table now. Let's make use of this. Yeah. So under here now, we have what is called prefix. Items. Let me start with items. Then under here, we have let's put rules. These are the things that we need to understand. You will notice that this thing is simple by the time we finish it. Yeah. So under the item, this is title. Let's just leave it like this. Let's call it title here. That's the heading here. So under the first items here, we have what is called prefix. Prefix. Then under the rules, we have what is called /n. This is what we'll be using forever. So that's why I'm putting it in the table, so you can understand anywhere you find yourself, any company, this is what you will use. So this /n simply means network bits. That's the meaning of this n. Means let me just go fast with it. Network bits. Then we have what is called, this one, we'll make use of them. Just be looking at the table. The second one, we have what is called host bits. So in front of this host bit, we already talked about that, which is 32 bits, which is 32 minus prefix length. Length. Okay, yeah, I think it's correct. So under this now, we have what is called total address. So in front of this, under the rules, of course, we have 2 raised to power n. Please, what we are doing is very simple. It's not hard. 2 raised to power, let me just read like this, n. This 2 raised to power n simply means host bit. Yeah. So we have what is called that's usable host. Usable host. In front of it, we have total address. Under the usable host, that's total address. Total address -2. I will explain why the -2 is there. Then under this, we have what is called network address. Then in front of this, of course, we have what is called first address, that is subnet and other router and another subnet and many more. So let's just put like this, subnet. So we not waste time. Then under this, we have what is called broadcast address. Please, this thing we are doing is not hard. Let's just be looking at it. Broadcast address. Yeah. So in front of this one, of course, we have address between the network and address between the network and broadcast address. This one, let me write it completely so you can understand. We have last address, sorry, network address. So it should be here, last address in the subnet. Yeah, so this one now, this is where we are going to. Why I put this one here, I will explain. You know, we need to understand the preface. The preface is that there are some cases whereby we will have something like this. Let me show you what the preface is all about. For example, we have something like this. That's I'm coming. Let me find one IP address. Sorry, I'm with you guys. So I want to find one IP address so I can make sure that we use that as an example so we can understand the meaning of preface that we are talking about. So, okay, let me just, the preface is where you see something like this. Let's, for example, you see 10.1.2. Maybe 0 then /24. Sometimes it might be /24. Sometimes it might be /1. Sometimes it might be anything from 0 to 32. So you can, sometimes it can be /3032 rather. So this is what is called, this slash is what is called preface that we put here. Yeah, let me put this one here. So something like this is what is called, anywhere you see slash anything from between 1 and 32, let's say /3 or /32, this is what is called preface in networking. So I want you to note that one first. It's very important for us to note that. So as the preface increases, I want you to know the subnet becomes smaller and provide fewer host value. So what I'm saying here is that it's pretty simple. Now I want us to use /29 as an example. We use /29 as an example. To use this /29 because this one is very common in many organizations. This /29 now, we now explaining /29 and /24. So we already know that in networking, of course, the IP address, this 255.255.255.255.255. This, we already know that this is an octet. It's 8-bit each. This is an octet and this is an octet. So let me just copy this now and put it in a table. Yeah, let me copy this and put it in a table. Oh, sorry. Okay, I put that in a table now. So now that we have this one here now, we have this one. Okay, it's even different from what we, sorry. Sorry, I'm with you. I think because the link I copied that time, that's why the thing. Yeah, so we are here. I want to close this. So since we have 255 here, I think I have to change this. Sorry guys, I'm with you. Okay, let me just use this 255. Yeah, this 255 ranges from 0 to 255 here, because this one is 8-bit, which is 1 octet. This is 1 octet. So, and this one also, as you can see, is 0 to 255. So if you want to represent this one now in binary, of course, we just put 1 sorry, we put 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Why? Because it's 8-bit. That's why we put 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 here. It's 8-bit. So now I will know this, and since the network we are using is /24. So we know that is 32-bit. Since it's /24, we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, full stop. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, full stop. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, full stop. Then 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. What we have here now is as the same as 255.255.255.255. So it's octet like this. This one is first octet, that's 8-bit, another 8-bit, another 8-bit, another 8-bit. So converting this now to binary, of course, we have something like this. That is, if this one is 8, since it's 8-bit, that's why we type it 8 times. Then 8 times 4, that would be 32, which is the whole IP address that we discussed about here, that we call 32-bit, the whole IP address. The whole thing here now is 32-bit. How do we get that? Of course, since this one is 8-bit, multiplied by 4, we get this. That's first thing that I want us to establish and understand. So, having know this one now, having understand this, the next thing that we need to understand now is the prefix here, which is /24. Is the prefix which is /24 that we want us to understand. The /24 here, why we have this slash, why you are having slash, since the whole thing here is 32. Of course, what you just need to do, it shows that 24 of this is for network and the rest is for the host. Yes, I will explain what I mean by a network and the host. So in a situation whereby out of host, as you can see now, they say host bit is equal to 32 minus previous length. What is our previous length? Is 24 that we're given. So here now, let me drag this one here. Yeah. So remember, this is what we convert to this. That is 8-bit, 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 8-bit. And now we want to go further again. We want to go further. Since this one is 8-bit, and this one is 8-bit, and this one is 8-bit, we want to go further. The prefix that we are talking about is that you have to count 24 ones. That is, this is 8, another is 16, another this is 16. That means 16, 8 times 3, that would be 24, right? That will be 24. That means in this slash 24, the rest will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So counting every value here now will be equal to 32 bits. But we already specified that we want to do the prefix we were given is slash 24. So because it's slash 24, the network we are working with is slash 24. So you just remove, since it's 32, remove 24 from this, the rest will be 0. So now what we are talking about here is that from here, here is called network. And here, from here, the last one is called host. Let me put it like that here. Yeah, this one, we call it host. Yes, I want you to know, to understand that one first. That is very, very important for us to understand first. Yeah, so now, having know that this is network and this one is host, we know that. Let's assume, assuming we were given, maybe we have slash 29. Let's put it like this. This slash 29 will be like, that means we are counting 29 ones. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dot. Then that will be 24. That means we need 5 more ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the rest will be 0. That's 3, 0. 1, 2, 3. So this is how to represent this first. This is how to count it first. So now, if you given slash 29 now, that means you are counting 29 ones. Then you remove this 29 from 32. We are left with this. So this network now, in this network now, this one means that we have the 29 is network here. The 29 is network, where I color is network. And the rest, sorry, let me just put it here. This one is 0, 0. Oh, sorry guys, let me quickly plug my phone. Oh. Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we are
Yes, I
hearing
can
you.
hear you. I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I'm very sorry for that. Please, can you see my screen now?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay. Sorry for the interruption. So, what I'm talking about here is that this from here to 29 is network, while the remaining one is the 3 here is what is host. So That's what we need to understand. Let's assume I told you that it started from /1 to /32. So assuming we are given the /1 like this, let's say we're given /1, we see anywhere we see /1 like this, we quickly know that we have 1, then the remaining will be 0, 0. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that means it's only this one that is network, while the remaining 0 are for the host. We understand what the host address and all these things are all about. But I want us to understand how to calculate this first. So now, having got this now, remember, our major goal is our major goal is /24. /24 is our major goal here. So now, since /24 is our major goal, of course, we already know that after we calculate the /34, this is what we got. So we know that, sorry, okay, copy everything. Yeah, so since we know that /24 here is network and this one is host, what we want to do now is that the first 24 bits, like I said, the first 24 bits from this 32 is for the network. Note that is for the network. The first one here is for the network, while the remaining 8 bits, which is for 0 here, are for the what is it called? For the host. So anywhere, and all the 0 is always for the host. If you want to, okay, /22, that will be, if you have /2 now, /2 will be what? Will be 2 ones. That is 1 1, the rest will be 0. So that 2 is network, while the remaining one, 0, is for the host. So any 0 you see at the back is always for the host. So that's what I want us to understand. That is, technically, this one, technically, let me go come here. Technically, this is network. Technically, another 8 here is network. Technically, another 8 is network. Then this one, remaining one is for the host. So that's just about that. So the next thing that I want to do now is that I want to, we want to distinguish, we want to convert it to decimal, that is binary, position, and decimal value. That's what we want to do. So you will now understand, by the time we are done with this, you will understand that this one is not hard. And once we understand this now, it's forever. Because this method, this same thing that we are doing, is what we use for any company network configuration and design at all, anywhere you find yourself, anywhere, any IT company. This is what they do. This is how we configure, assign licenses, assign IP rather to device. So now the next thing that I want to do now is that I want us to know that each octet contains 8 bits. Still remember that. That is, each network here is 8 bits. That's why we count 8 1 to 8. That is, we have 1 in 8 times 8 8. I want us to note that. It's very important for us to put that one, to have that one in mind. So now we want to position it. This formula that we have here, that is n raised to power what? Raised to power 2. That is, this is total address. We want to calculate the total address. We want to know the host bit. Host bit now we already know it. And we want to know the total address. So to know that one now, we have what is formula that I use, which is 2 raised to power n. So we all know that binary is always between 0 and 1. That's it. And always base 2. So now I want to do something that we will understand better. I don't know if I can see draw. Okay, table. Sorry. Oh, that's 2. And that's 8. Yeah. So here now, I want to call it bit position. And the next thing I will want to call it decimal value. Please, this thing is not hard. I don't know, it's not hard at all. So now, remember, we said from the beginning, I said something here. I said from 0 to here. Remember this, because if you look at how computer works very well, I said computer understands 0. That's what computer use, 0, or 1. So if anything that you are typing is converted, is 0 and 1 that computer understand. All the number, the keyboard you have is being converted from 0 and 1 to another thing. So it's 0 and 1 that computer understand. Then when we are talking about 8-bit, of course, we need to understand that 8-bit is not from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's always from 0 to 7. Why? Let me put it so you can understand what I'm talking about. Let me come here. I put 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we count this one now, let's say we count this one now. We count from here. Here will be 1. Let's say we assign serial number like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 bits that I want us to understand. Always start from 0 to 1. I want us to understand that. Then the decimal value. Let me just put it like that. Decimal value. Now, of course, from our mathematics, it's very simple that if you want to calculate this now, we raise everything by 2. That is, this come from power of 2. That's what I want us to do now. If you put, sorry, this one not supposed to be, we already put it at the top. So if you raise this one, raise to power the base 2, we put this one now in base 2. We notice that is, this one will now be, let me put base 2 here. I don't know if I can add another this thing here. Okay, we know that anything raised to power 2 raised to power 0 is 1. What I want to do is that I want to calculate this. I'm coming. I want to do it in a way that we understand. Sorry, we'll soon be done. After this, we'll be done with this. Let me put this one as 3 and this one as, let me put this one as 4. This one as 8. Yeah. So I want to use this so we can understand this better. That's why I create another table so we can understand better. Of course, let me say SN like this. That's number. That is normal serial number. I want to calculate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this one now, please, this is just a number. We are just numbering it. So, oh, sorry, it's supposed to be start from 0. We are just numbering it, please. It's not, don't mind this. Then that means we need another something. This is 8. Normally, ordinary 8. But in computer, since bit is 8 bits and it started from 0 and 0 from 0, so we are counting from 0. This one will now be bit position. Let me be fast with it. Then we start from 0. That's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Please disregard this. It's just a number. That is, we are numbering the column. That's it. This is our major goal here. This is the major goal that we are after. The rest, we are not talking about the rest. So let me just color this. Then under the decimal value here, under this decimal value, of course, we have what is called under this decimal value, we have 1, we have 2. You will understand how we explain. We have 4, and we have 8. And we explain. We have 16. We have 32. We have 64. And we explain. We have 1, 2, 8. So now from here now, and I told you that the binary base 10 or any base 10, the what is normally is always like this. That's 2 raised to power 0. You put this 0 raised to power 0. That's the first one. Then here will be what? There's 2 raised to power 2, 2 raised to power 1 rather. This one you put on this 0 you put on this one. Then another 2 raised to power, I will let you will understand. 2 raised to power 1. Then the next is 2 raised to power 2 raised to power 2. The next is 2 raised to power 3, 2 raised to power 4, 2 raised to power 5, 2 raised to power 6, 2 raised to power 7. Yes. So let me color this one too to have the same color with that. So now, this is what we do. This 2 is this. Is 0 raised to power 2. Since it's base 2, as you can see, is base 2. So 2 raised to power 2 here is what? 2 raised to power 0 here. From here, we get 1. Anything raised to power 0, of course, we get 1. So 2 raised to power 1, we get what? We get 2. This is the answer. This 2 raised to power 2 is 4. 3 raised to power 2, of course, is 8. 4 raised to power 2, of course, is 16. 5 raised to power 2, of course, is 32. 6 raised to power 2, of course, is 64. 7 raised to power 7, of course, is 128. So now, this is our major goal. We got this one now here. We got this, of course. Let me put another color to it so we can understand it. This color is not good. Just make it okay. I don't know if you guys can see this now. Let me just put it this. Oh, no color. Yeah, let me just leave it like this. So now that we have established this, we find find base 2 of this. We convert it. What we are doing is that we want to convert it from like this, binary to decimal. That's what we are trying to do, because it's being represented in decimal format, not in binary, as you can see from here. So our goal is to get this done. That's our goal, is to get this done. And how did we arrive to this? Of course, it's bit, number of bits, 8 bits. We convert that number 8 bits to this particular one. So now the next thing that we want to do now is this. Since we already converted to this, of course, we want to put it down here in a way that we understand how it's supposed to be. So now that we have it, that will be 128, then 64, like this, 64, then 32, then 16, then 8, 4, 2, and 1. So this now, when we convert this to decimal, this is what we convert now. We got this because this is 8 bits from 0 to 7. So if you count from 0, you will get 8 value, 8 number. So that's it. That's why we convert this using this position here, and we got this. So now we want to get, why is it like this? This is our goal. This is where we are going to now. Why is it like this? So now, having know that one, what we want to do now is that we want to convert it the first octet, in which the first octet is this one, which is what we are trying to do. We want to convert now. This is first octet. Now, having done that, we already converted. We already know all this. So we want to convert and add everything together. So if you add everything together now, it will be what? That will be plus. I don't know if
248.
anyone. Is that what?
248.
Yes. Thank you very much. Is it 248? Everything.
Yes.
Convert
Yes,
to add
everything.
everything together.
Yes, to have it in 248.
248. Can it be like 248? I be 255. Add it again.
Okay.
So 128 plus 64 plus 32 plus 16 plus 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1. That should be 255. So this one that we have been talking about, .255, .255, .255, this is how to convert from this value to this. How we got this, that's what we just did now. How we got this, that's what we just did from here. So now, I haven't done that we convert that one, that is, in nutshell, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is equal to 255. Do we understand, or I should just explain? Are we getting it?
Not really. To me, I don't know about others.
Okay.
Can't really.
Time has gone.
You can leave it now. Maybe
No. It's
next.
not about you. I'm not talking about. We need to understand it. What about others? Are we getting it? Okay. Yeah. So what we are trying to do is that, let me put it like this. What we are trying to do is that we want to understand how we get this, because this is how we assign network. This is subnet. All this is subnet. So let's assume that you were given something like this. How will you calculate it? If you're given 24, how will you convert it to a network? How will you know the number of hosts, number of devices that can be connected to it? That's our goal. That's what we are trying to achieve here. We want to calculate, if we are given /24, we want to know how many devices can connect to this network. Since I said this is /28, this 24 of this, everything here is 32. The first 24 is network and the rest is host. The rest is host. So now that the rest is host, how are we going to convert it that will be like a decimal to, that will look like this? What we want to achieve, that will look like this: 192 maybe .1 .11.3, let's just say like this, /24. This is what we want to achieve, because this is what you will assign to your computer, not a value /24 like this. But we are doing this because I want us to understand how we are getting this. So, and for you to understand, to convert this now, this octet, this 1, 2, 3, 4 to 8, you need to do it like this. To convert this, you need to do something like this. So that's why I said your 8 bits is always like this in computer. It's always like this, between 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we talk about 8 bits, this is how you count it. That is 1, from 0, 1, 2. We are not adding it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 8 bit. This 8 bit is what we converted to this. So, and it's always in base 2. It's always in base 2. That is everything here over raised to power 2. So it's 0 raised to power 2, we get 1. 1 raised to power 2, we get 2. 2 raised to power 2, we get 4. 3 raised to power 2, we get 8. 4 raised to power 2, we get 16. 5 raised to power 2, we get 32. 6 raised to power 2, we get 64. 7 raised to power 2, we get 128. So we now add everything here. We added everything together. So adding everything together, of course, we get 255 here. So I now said this 255, this 1111 is now equivalent to 255. That is, we got how we have this. Why this one is like this? That's what we just did here. I don't know if you understand, sir. Okay. So our time has gone. So I think this is past 11. So maybe we should stop here. Then by the time we do recap next week, we should be able to understand, and because it's a must for us to understand, though we are yet to get to where we are going to. Where we are going to is just to make sure that we have this network. We want to calculate how many computers can connect to this particular /24. That's our goal. But as it is now, time has gone because of some people that will be going to work tomorrow. So let's stop here. We continue from here next week. We should be able to round everything up. Please, if you are not getting this now, please don't think it's hard. It's not hard. Cybersecurity is not hard. This is not hard. Maybe because you are just getting this for the first time. By the time I send you the document, you review it yourself, you try it. I'm very, very 100% sure that you will get it. So that's just about that. Any question? Any question? Okay. Mr. Okay, Fatai, please go ahead.
No, so I'm not asking question. No. I'm just thanking you
Oh,
that.
okay, 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 okay. So any questions so far from anyone? Okay, since there's no question, I'm very sure that by the time we go through it, and I will send you, I'll prepare step by step guide for this, for the little one that we just did now, so we can try it up to this level, and we can also ask questions on the group. So I'm very sure by the time we have our second class, we refresh our brain again on this, I'm 100% sure that we will get it better. So that's just about that for tonight. Yeah, thank you everyone. So we meet next time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
God
thank
bless
you.
you.
Thank you very much, sir.